It's a Tuesday, the 20th of September. Now, it's in its 8th series. The Xfactor continues to draw millions of viewers every week. Hundreds of thousands of hopeful singers have stood in front of those judges with dreams of becoming stars, but only a handful have made that dream a reality. One of the successful acts was a brother and sister duo from Portsmouth. We were delighted when they reached the final of the 4th series, and Sean and Sarah Smith, also known as Same Difference, are in the studio now. Sean, Sarah, welcome back to BBC Radio Solent.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Lovely to see you again, because last time you came, you were with Katie, weren't you?
Yes.
And was that a couple of years ago now?
It was last year, I believe.
Oh gosh, time flies, because of course we're in the middle now of the 8th series, and I was just interested to see what your thoughts were, what you were going through at this stage, because obviously now we're there in the finalists have been chosen, they're in the judges' houses.
Yes.
Right.
So this is where you were, and do you remember that time and what it was like?
Oh, definitely. I remember it in a bad way, I have to say, because I was ill. Yeah, I was trying to, because I knew that we got through to judges' houses round, and I was already in a show that was running, and I was dying to get out of the contract, but they wouldn't let me out. And literally on the Friday we were in Scotland, and on the Saturday we were flying over to Marbella for Simon's judges' house round, and I was sick as a dog, like trying constantly with my agent to get out of the show that I was in, and Sarah flew all the way up to
Scotland to practice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what show were you doing, Sean?
It was Dancing Queen for Spirit of the Night Productions, and I was having great fun, and I was really enjoying it, but then it got to the stage where obviously I knew that I couldn't turn up an opportunity, especially getting through to the judges' houses round like that, and I had a really sore throat, I was so stressed. But the funny thing was, when we actually finally got over there,
It just evaporated. It was like, oh, I'm better now.
I started feeling better. It was like a calling for me, that it was, it was all meant to be that year, and it worked out perfectly.
And so what was it like working with Simon? 'Cause I know initially he didn't like you very much, did he?
When we first found out we had Simon, part of us was elated, because we were like, brilliant, like he's the main judge at the time. But then we were like, oh, but all they've shown on the telly was him like being mean to us, so we were like, because we knew that he'd actually said, and if they don't show everything, obviously you're in the audition room for about 5-10 minutes, and they only show kind of 30-second clip, and he actually said some nice stuff, so we were kind of holding on to that, going, I hope he doesn't go down the like nasty route. But when we first saw him, he was absolutely fine. He came and gave us a pep talk before we went, so it makes you feel a lot more at ease. But I think that the contestants this year are going to be kind of panicking, obviously, because they've got new judges, they don't know what to expect.
At the judges' houses around, all I remember is they stood us there, and they've got all the TV cameras waiting, and they're standing there in the boiling hot heat. Bearing in mind, I'm getting over an illness. I'm literally sweating like a madman. Simon comes out of the thing, and all the cameras are there, like filming us, and I'm thinking, God, I'm hot. And he said, "How are you today?" And I sort of turned around and went, "Really hot, Simon." And he went, "Well, it is hot." And I was like,
he was like, all the things I could have said.
I know.
Was he a nice guy? Did you get on with him? Because he's helped your career from the Xfactor as well.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he's obviously a strong businessman. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and when it gets to the
live stages.
No, sorry, when he because he's such a businessman, if things aren't going the right way, he's quick to do what he's got to do, and that's absolutely cool. He showed belief in us right from the start, and he saw all the way through to giving us the deal afterwards, so he was always great to us. We can't say a bad word about the man.
Now, obviously, you believed very much in yourself doing the Xfactor, but did you think you would get as far as you did?
Never in a million years. No. I think at the time, when we first got through to like the final stages, all the time we were thinking, right, we're going to go this week. We're going to go this week, because we were never favourites, and I think looking back, it was great being the underdog, because every week when we did get through, it was more of an achievement, whereas if you were kind of expected to go through, it's just like a bit of a breeze for you. So we never, and when we got to the final, we were like, could this actually happen for us now? It's just absolutely crazy. And
I think the one time we started to believe it could happen was the final.
And we came third.
And we came third, yeah.
What a fantastic achievement. And you've done so well. I mean, this was really a big launch pad for your careers.
Oh, it's been crazy ever since. Like, everyone always says, oh, what have you been doing since? We've been up and down the country. We've had 2 albums out. We've been here, there and everywhere. So it has been amazing for us. And we've had a brilliant time. And obviously we're still carrying on now. And it's just every year you think, okay, it's one more year out now, so so maybe, you know, this year could be the year that we don't do so much, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, next year you've got this and this and this, and you go, oh, okay, we're carrying on, and it's great.
Because before X Factor, I mean, you were successful as performers anyway. It was certainly, you know, people who go away to dance college and theatre school like you did, the careers you had would be deemed as being successful. You were both working, weren't you?
Yeah.
In the industry. I mean, it's not on the same level, obviously.
Oh, it's a completely different level. As soon as you come out of X Factor, you're sent into a whole new realm, you know, the things that you're doing. But I mean, I like to sort of think that mine was more sort of, you know, natural. But I just came out of school and then went on a cruise ship, like, from 17.
I did that. I know exactly what it's like as a dancer, yes.
And I just got really lucky, really, whereas Sarah actually thought she'd go down the whole go and learn
education
trade
route.
And I think both have got their plus sides, but that's, I think, what's, you know, a bit different about us. I think because Sarah went away and I went away, it kind of brought us closer when we got back, because we hadn't seen each other so long. And when we first came onto the X Factor, Sarah just came along as support for me because I was going to go on my own.
Right.
And she
they said, will you just be a band? Because I was just stood in the queue and they went, do you sing? And I was like, well, yeah. They were like, oh, well, why don't you be a band instead? And we were like, at the time, he'd just come back obviously from the cruise ships and stuff and the shows, and I was at college, so we weren't living together or in it, and it was like, oh, we're the best of mates, yeah, you know, we'll do it. And now we're like, oh, we drive each other mad. You know, it's back to normal brother and sisterhood, I think.
So what must it be like, you know, being brother and sister and, you know, growing up together, and now you're working together, so you must be together every day. Do you drive each other bonkers?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Mad,
crazy. If I get a call and it's from Sarah, I know it's going to be business. And I kind of think at times, oh, God, leave me alone for a second. But, you know, I mean, it seems to work. What we've got seems to work. I don't think we'll ever, you know, we wouldn't change the world.
You can't really split a band when it's brother and sister, can you? You can't really get away. So.
And just tell us a little bit. You grew up in Portsmouth, and were you sort of dancing and singing and going to a local school there?
Yes, I went to. I went to Northern Parade, Court Lane, and then up to Pembroke, and always through the thing, it was kind of like my thing in school that I was like the singer boy, you know, and I always sort of stuck to that, and I always thought, well, you know, when I come out of school, that's what I definitely want to do, and it just so happened that it became an obsession with me, and I had to do it, and you know, it's all happened relatively well for me.
So who's the oldest after the two of you?
Sean
is, okay. Yeah. And did you look up to Sean and think, I want to do that too?
Well, actually, I started first. I was only 2 when I started going dancing, and my mum obviously sent me a lovely little girl, you know, put her in her belly, she was brilliant. And then I started doing shows, and Sean kind of used to come and watch and see all the praise I used to get, and, oh, she's doing so well at her dance, and he was like, hang on a minute, I could do that. So he kind of jumped on the bandwagon, and then I think he kind of led the way with the singing, because I was more of a dancer, he was more of a singer, and then he just obviously did more shows singing wise, and I was like, well, I want to do that now. And we've kind of, I think it's been healthy competition with both of us, and obviously now we work together, there's not that kind of competition element, but when we were growing up, it always used to be, you know, I want to be better than him and he wants to be better than me. But I think that's natural with brothers and sisters, it's quite normal.
And it sounds like as well now that you're using your talents to come together to do something very exciting and important, and we're going to talk about this in just a minute. We're just going to take a break and get our guide.
What's happening in the South?
So in the studio with me this afternoon, Sean and Sarah Smith, better known perhaps from the X Factor and as Same Difference. Now, you're back in Portsmouth, it's where you're based.
Yes.
As well as sort of jetting all around the world, as you were telling me off air, that you go to different resorts and you perform there and you're making albums. But now you're bringing something back, aren't you? Just tell us about this new project that you're involved in.
Well, we're doing a new thing called the Pop Academy, the first one being in Portsmouth in October half term. And basically, what we're doing is giving kids that are aged 7 to 12 the opportunity to perform in their own pop concert. So what we're doing is we'll be teaching ourselves the children all through the week, so they'll learn the singing, the dancing side, mic technique, kind of performance skills, and kind of learn from us what we've kind of learned over the time. And then at the end of the week on the Saturday, we're going to invite all the parents in and all the friends and family, and they get to watch them on a professional stage. We've got it's going to be like a mini Glastonbury, I think. We've brought all the stage in with all the lighting and sound equipment, so it's going to be really, really great.
So it's going to be based around the idea of like a workshop, really, isn't it? And culminating in the performance at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got big plans for it to even turn it into a theatre school eventually, and there are certain business models of other people that have done it. I mean, Duncan Valentine sings to mind with the razzmatazz thing and all this kind of thing. You know, it's
Stagecoach, maybe.
Yeah, of
like
course.
That.
Yeah, it's something that we feel that will grow over the years and hopefully give us a long career ahead of us. You know, because you don't know how long it will last, and it may not last forever. We've been very, very lucky, touch wood. We just signed up for a new
tour for next
year, so things are still going. But you know, you've got to think of the future, and it's a great time to set it up while our name still sort of resonates and the Xfactor is still on TV.
And also as well, the Xfactor and these reality shows are very popular, and there's all these children who I'm sure were desperate to get behind a microphone, and so it just gives them, you know, the chance, the experience to see, hey, you know, could I really do this?
And because obviously we've sort of been there, done it. We played the O2 and Wembley and all these big things. I think that sort of adds to the teaching in a way, because we've been there and done it, you know. And I think a lot of the teachers, certainly that Sarah's had over the years, have kind of like gone into teaching rather than actually going out and doing it. And we kind of do it on the opposite way, you know. We've gone and done that, and then we can show teach all that we've learned to the children, you know.
So would this be the first one that you've done?
Yeah, this is the first one starting in Portsmouth, but it's going to be like a really exciting thing for us, because we've obviously, our target market has always been the children for our music. To actually give something back and go, right, we're going to help you guys now, is going to be great. And it's not necessarily aimed, because everyone always says to us, we've had hundreds of phone calls from people saying, oh, is it only for kids that already do dancing, or is it only for kids that already do singing? And we're like, no, because we know that there's loads of talented people. Like Sean never did kind of training when he was young, but he's just come up and he's gone, right, I'm going to go for it, and he started doing competitions and things, and that's how he learned what he's doing for what he's doing now. So like we go, well, there's loads of kids that probably got raw talent out there that don't even have a clue. They know that they like singing, but they're not like trained, or they've not been to kind of the posh dance schools and all that. And we're like, you know, any kid, whoever wants to come along can come along and learn and kind of get their chance to be in a kind of really cool pop show. We're really excited about it.
Well, and this is why I think why the Xfactor works so well, because very rarely are the ones who get through, they're not the ones who've been to sort of theatre school. It's the ones who just, you know, perhaps a little bit shy, or I'm not too sure that I can do it. They just have that natural raw talent.
Exactly.
So really open to everybody.
Yeah, we want to find kind of children that are kind of a bit raw, and you know, they want to just get up and, you know, might not be the best at the beginning, but we want to bring that out of them. And I think that's going to be a real challenge for us, because we did a lot of singing, and I did a lot of singing, teaching and dance teaching before we did the Xfactor, and that was something that I used to absolutely adore, like seeing the kids grow and kind of seeing them come out of their shell a bit. And it's going to be really nice to actually go, right, I can do that again, and now I've got more experience that I can go, oh, it's actually better now.
So the age group age 7 to 12, why that particular age group? Did you not think about, you know, sort of maybe doing another one for the older, for the teenagers?
Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly expand eventually, but I just think for now, I mean, you know, when the kids go through that sort of teenage years and sort of answer back and stuff, I don't know how well we'll deal with that just yet.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
But I mean, we kind of thought 7 to 12, you know, exactly what you're getting. They're going to be sweet little kids, you know, and it just seemed like the perfect place to start. But we'll certainly expand as we get more and more confident with it. But
I think pop music's actually bigger in that category as well. I think kind of 7 to 12-year-olds, they've got the likes of Justin Bieber that they love, and they love things like the Saturdays, which is all the music that we're going to be putting into the academy. And I think they're the ones that love it. And I think that's, for us, was a great place. You go, right, these the age group that would love that sort of thing. We'll start there. But we have had a lot of interest from kind of 15, 16-year-olds going, come on, why are you not including us? Because obviously when we were on Xfactor, they were younger then, and now obviously they've grown up with us, and they're going, well, why can't we do it? So we might eventually, I think we might even eventually take this one out and go, right, we're going to expand it to kind of 16, but we are starting with the 7 to 12.
Now, it's the idea really that you've got to be, if people want to be involved in this, they've got to be committed for the whole week. So it's sort of the Monday through to the Friday, and then the Saturday is the performance. So it's not, you can't dip in and out.
No, they have to be there. There's 4-hour sessions from Monday to Friday.
Quite intensive then.
So there's 2 different sessions running throughout the day. The first one is from 9 till 1, and then the second session is from 2 till 6, so they can choose, because obviously I know parents work as well, so if there's a better session for them, they can come along there, and then obviously all day on the Saturday to rehearse the show. And it's going to be held at Admiral Lord Nelson School, which is right centre of Portsmouth, kind of just off the Eastern Road, so it's really simple to get to, which was obviously one of the main... It's really simple to get to. Yeah, oh no, my dictionary today.
It's not very BBC Radio Solent, is it?
No. So I'll forgive you. Now there is a website which I think we should give out, because that's that'd be nice and easy for everybody to find out all the details.
Yeah, which is www.sdpopacademy.com, and there's all the details on there about kind of the course dates and your pricing and all that stuff.
And it's during October half term, which is, remind me, the dates, is it the 19th?
The 24th to the 29th.
That's completely wrong. I knew it was towards the end of October. So this is your big thing, this is your Pop Academy, but then you say you've got another album on the cards?
We've just had our new album out, which you're going to hear a little bit from, I'm sure, in a sec. So that's just been out, and then next year we're going to be touring that, so listen out for our notice tour date.
Still working on the third album as well, because all the time we're being creative. It's something there that's going to give us another, another vehicle for, keeping things moving.
Well, this is what I love about local radio, is getting to see local people who've done so well for themselves. And thanks for coming in to tell us about your latest project. And we're going to play something from your latest album, and it's called The Rest Is History.